Hello and welcome. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. Our big focus this hour is Donald Trump really looking to end the Iran war, or is the US just sending out mixed signals? Because in the last 24 hours, the messaging coming out of Washington has been all over the place. On one side, there are strong indicators that Trump wants a quick end to the war. In fact, reports say he's even willing to wrap things up without reopening the Strait of Hormuz and deal with that later. But then senior US voice Pete Hegseth has said we will negotiate with bombs. He's made it clear strikes will continue till Iran agrees. So right there, two completely different signals are coming out on a potential end to the war or not. Let's take a look at what's happening on ground. Airstrikes, of course, have continued in the past 24 hours. Multiple reports of fresh hits on Iran-linked positions have come to light. There's also movement of US forces in the region. No confirmation of ground troops yet, but clearly things are still active. There are even reports suggesting a possible US ground invasion that is also being discussed. Remember, Marines are also being moved to the region. At the same time, there are reports of talks, including possible involvement of Pakistan, of trying to bring both sides to the table. Here's the problem, though. Iran is refusing. Tehran is denying these talks are taking place. They're rejecting the US pressure, and they're continuing their own response to the strikes. One side is saying talks are on. The other side is saying, no, they're not. The Strait of Hormuz, of course, remember, still remains a big concern. It remains tense. That is pushing oil prices up and worrying markets in the Gulf. Countries like Saudi Arabia and UAE, calm is being called for, but also quietly they are preparing in case things get worse. The US, clearly it says, wants to end the war. Talks are happening, but it's also continuing strikes and warning of more as well. So what is going to happen next? Well, the world is certainly watching closely. Joining us live is Major General S.B. Asthana, Strategic Affairs Analyst. We also have Ali Ashraf Rata, Pakistan foreign expert, live with us. Mandana Karimi, Iranian actress and model, joins us live. Ravi Karkara, founder Invest NYC Forum, also is joining the broadcast. Let me begin with you first, Major General Asthana. What do you make of this double speak? The US says strikes continue, but we are also talking. Iran says no talks are happening. Their strikes continue as well. Who is telling the truth? What is the reality, Major General Asthana? There is, of course, there are delays in warfare. There are clouds as well. But here it seems that there is complete confusion on what's going to happen next.
The maximum confusion is from the US side. They started off with a very hard line, complete surrender, unconditional surrender. That was the strategic aim which they gave out. But subsequently, having spent 1 month bombarding Iran, they have realized that their first aim, political aim of regime change, hasn't happened. Degradation, yes, it has happened. Degradation of their military force, degradation of their facilities and missile bases has happened to a great extent. But other than that, they have not achieved much. Now the question is, they are at an awkward point wherein a ground invasion is far too risky. Their amphibious ships have not even entered Strait of Hormuz, so the question of landing does not arise. And unless they enter, even entry itself is going to be contested. Same is the case with the islands. They have picked up so many islands. Even if they capture 1 or 2, it doesn't open up. There are a whole lot of islands which dominate the route. So you have to either capture all islands, for which 15,000 troops are not sufficient. You cannot win Iran with 6 lakhs troops in place and in mountainous terrain. So therefore, ground operation is seeming to be very, very risky to President Trump. Now comes his rhetoric. He can keep saying whatever he wants, but the problem is the rhetoric and the strikes have been again retaliated, and he has paid a price for that as well. Now look at the Iranian side. Their strategic aim is that they must survive, and they must impose heavy political, economic, military cost on President Trump and Netanyahu. Both are happening. Their demands, which were there before the war, have hardened, and as of today, their demands are much more tougher, including the control over Strait of Hormuz, demanding and asking for reparation. So therefore, apparently, President Trump is thinking that he has made strategic miscalculations, and now uh, any further miscalculation is going to spoil his subsequent chances in the midterm election, and therefore he wants to get out anyway. Now, getting out anyway is just declare victory and say that okay, I have damaged Iran enough. Iran does not exist, and just pull out and leave the Strait of Hormuz because he feels that he will not be able to open it, and leave it for the rest and let everybody sort it out. But then the question is that even this option has got little problems. But apparently, out of given all the options, I think President Trump is finding he's in a tight spot, and that's why these are confusing statements which are coming up because from his office bearers as well. Back to you.
Yes, let me, in fact, quickly also rope in now Mandana Karimi. Mandana, we have, of course, been speaking to you about this conflict and you've been putting out your views continuously as well. What do you make about this current juncture that the conflict has reached? Of course, there is fog of war in which some information from on ground doesn't trickle out. It happens in any conflict. But what do you make about this juncture that the war has reached, where, of course, strikes continue? But there is now one side claiming talks are on, the other, though, says that no dialogue is happening.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me again. So I want to start by saying that I don't really appreciate the way this conversation has been framed first, because when we talk about war, right? When we talk about an intervention of a country to another country, which is in this case is Iran, we are talking about Iran, which Iranian people have been in war with their own regime for 47 years, right? I have lived under this regime. I was 18 years old when I left the country, so I wasn't a kid. I've actually got arrested. I've seen my friends getting arrested. I've seen execution publicly when I was a kid. So first of all, I want to say that when a country, people who are living as a citizen, they're already in war for 47 years with their own regime, and they've been getting murdered, executed. The economy of the country is collapsing. There is no medicine that they can have access to. There's just so much a problem already within the country. And every 2 years, every year and a half, you guys as well heard it, 2009, 2019, 2022, that you guys hear that, oh, something else has happened within Iran, right? And the blackouts and the executions are a normal daily life for Iranians, right? Getting back to what you guys said about Mr. Trump. First of all, if someone like Mr. Trump or any other general, you know it yourself. If any country is in conflict, you're not going to come and talk about your strategy online. You're not going to talk about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. That's first thing first. Second of all, a regime like Iran, again and again, they have got chances by different countries, countries within the region, within the Islamic region, that come and talk and negotiate and let's help you, let's talk, right? Every negotiation, every year, this regime has done with any country, they've come stronger. They've
Yes.
become stronger, right? Every year. And I don't want you to, talk about the history. You guys know many years ago, the budget that they got from US, right?
Yes.
And the interview when one of the officers said, "Oh, the missiles that we have, it's only a few hundred meters, right? It's only for our so and so." Then, coming back to the 1 month of war, their own governors,
Right.
they come and they say, if we want to, we can attack as far as UK or Europe, right?
Okay.
So if, sir, you're saying that America came and attacked Iran and now they don't know what's happening and they have lost so much. And the opinion of Iranian, I don't think America has lost this war. And from the beginning, it was very clear. What America wanted to do,
Yes.
it's the fall of the regime. And to be honest, I had a conversation today, a few hours ago, with the Iranian in Iran, and I had to argue with them because this person was saying that, oh, we're going to someone's house for a party. And I was like, are you guys crazy? I'm worried for you guys. And this person said, listen, this regime has fallen so much the Basijis, the Sepahis, they're fighting within each other. They're not going to their posts anymore. And the regime has been forced to
Well,
bring the
yes.
Houthis,
Well,
to
yes,
bring
but Donald
people.
Trump, yes, the regime has been forced to bring in the Houthis, as you're saying. The Houthis have also entered the war. Yemen has, of course, entered the conflict as well. But, Donald Trump has indicated that in a way regime change has happened because he claims that, of course, the old people who were, of course, loyal to Khamenei have been wiped out. So, in a way, that is regime change, is what Mr. Trump has said as well in a statement. But what do you see happening next? Before I get in another guest who's also joining us, Ali Ashraf Rata. Mandana, what do you see happening next in this conflict? Do you believe that Iran is unlikely to accept a deal? Do you see a possible ground invasion happening next? Which way do you believe the conflict is now headed? Of course, you voiced your disagreement to Major Lastana, point taken. What do you believe is coming next in this war?
What I believe that, and we've all seen it, every 3 days, every 2 days, either Israel, either America, or either Iran's regime is surprising everyone, right? And if there is a conversation, which the regime is denying it, they're denying that we're not talking to anyone. And the action is actually showing, because again, the Kuwait has been under attack, Dubai has been under attack, right? And I don't see this regime to come in a conclusion that they're going to stop. Because their own Khamenei, the leader, has said it again and again. The world wasn't listening. He has said it. We want to wipe out the entire Jew. What they want to do is expand. And the question should be asked, is the region is going to allow this happen? I don't think so. I don't think anyone in the region is going to allow an Iranian regime to bring Houthis to kill their own citizen. They're going to stay around. And Iranian regime has shown it again and again. And what as an Iranian I hope for, because see, I'm not a geopolitic expert, I'm not a politician, but as an Iranian, what we are hoping for, and sir, I don't want to disrespect your opinion, I respect your opinion, but I'm not an expert. But as an Iranian, if this regime is going to stay, not only they're going to wipe out Iranian people who are in the country right now, they're going to wipe out other region, and they've shown that in past 1 month they put the entire region in a stress of bombing their own Muslim countries. So they have to go. There is no other way. And to be honest, again, I'm not a politician, as I said, I'm not an expert, but what I hope for is that this regime is going to wipe out however it is.
Okay.
Because the message is that I get again, and I'm saying this is from a citizen. They say, we are so happy that the bombs are coming. And by the way, Mandana, we are not dying. The people who are dying, who are they? They're either Basijis or Sepahis or any of these guys
Right.
who are hiding in hospitals or schools or someone else's houses. So that's what we hope for.
Okay. Let me bring in Ali Ashraf Rata as well. Ali Ashraf Rata. Now, I'll come back to you, Mandana. Ali Ashraf Rata, tell me, of course, about your view on what is happening currently in this conflict. Also, there are reports coming in of Pakistan mediating. Now, is that happening officially, or is that an illusion? Are there efforts being made of mediation? What is the kind of headway then that has happened, Ali? What are the reports you are getting? And what is your sense of which way this conflict is headed?
Thank you for having me on your show. Actually, there are 3-4 perspectives right now the other panelists were talking about, and I would like to give my comment on that as well. Actually, right now, what is happening? There are 3 tiers. Actually, regional level, then a global level, and the internal part of Iran as well. But the facts which Mandana shared with you guys, that Iran is bombing his neighboring countries like UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, and even Saudi Arabia. I think there is something not right there. Yes, they are attacking on the stages where America, those stages have been used for attack on Iranian people and Iranian strategic assets. So I think that is the fact that should be communicated with the people in a right way. So, and the other thing, what is going on and what will happen in next few years, I think in 15 days before on my show, I actually given analysis, and that is 100% true. In that analysis, I actually calculated a few things: how this war will conclude it, and where it will go. In that show, I actually claim that in 15 days, if this war continue for 15 to 20 days or 30 days, U.S. will leave this war wherever that will be, because U.S. cannot afford this, because it's not the war of weapons, it's not the war of money.
No, but
actually,
they're not just going to leave this war. They're not just going to leave this war. There has to be obviously some sort of deal or some sort of juncture then that will happen. It's not going to just happen suddenly.
Actually, where America is losing, the point where America is losing this war, that is the opinion war, that is the goodwill. The journal, I think, can give you the better thing on this, because America always rule with his whatever goodwill he has. So right now he is losing that, and on Iran and his strategic allies like China and Russia and Pakistan, basically that is creating a big trouble for USA. If America continue this war for more 2-3 weeks, you will see America will leave this war. He cannot afford this, because the loss he will going to face, that could not be fulfilled in next 10 to 20 years even. So I think if American regime is wise, and he has some strategic think tank behind that, so they will not continue this war. This is what this is my opinion, and there is calculation.
Is Pakistan involved?
Pakistan
in the mediation?
Diplomatically, there is no any conclusion or any one side. Always countries always play a game with each other. They they actually play in a win-win situation.
Interesting. They are claiming their mediation, but you are claiming it's just diplomatic intervention. There's no mediation happening. Okay, Mandana Karimi, please respond. Mandana Karimi, your response to Ali Ashraf Ratta's opinion on your perspective as well. I'll get in Mijin Lastana in just a second as well.
Ali, again, this is as an individual who lives outside of Iran. So I know the blackouts. And I know right now in Iran, by the way, they're singing on the streets in Arabic, and they say America has lost the game, and, you know, they have lost the war. And let me tell you something, which is very interesting what you said, is the fact that, do you really think America is not making money from this war? They're not making money from Iran. And let me tell you something, Iran is an untapped market for a lot of countries. And if America has started this, they want to be the hero. And by the way, the numbers, the millions of Iranians who are outside of Iran, what they're chanting, thank you, America. There is a very viral dance of Iranians, they're thanking him, right? And a person like Trump, who's a very smart businessman, we all know it. I don't have to explain it to you, right? He's not going to just suddenly go and like, okay, I destroyed Iran, I'm going to go now. And the second part, which I never understood, I actually, I love India. And, you know, again, I'm not a politician. I'm not a, you know, whatever situation India and Pakistan had. But there was a fact that a few years ago, I used to ask about from my Indian friends and say, why Pakistan has done so many things to India, but India never answers to it, right? And now Pakistan suddenly coming and saying that, oh, guys, I'm the mediator. Then Iranian regime says, no, we're not even talking. And then America says, oh, yeah, we are talking, but not with those people. We're talking about someone else. And then suddenly Pakistan comes in the middle of all of this. And it's funny because I would think Pakistan is a country that if they had the troops to go from Pakistan to Iran to help them, we would have seen it. Because I tell you one thing, that right now the Houthis who are in Iran, we have got the very clear video by the regime out there, and it's there. And you know, it's very interesting. And yeah, I don't agree with you. And I mean, Trump is a very smart businessman. So what you're saying, it doesn't make any sense to me. Sorry.
Yes. Major Lasana, come back in here. Major Lasana, you can, of course, respond to the other perspectives you've heard on the show today. And also, you know, Mijin Lastana, also, you know, in terms of the strikes now that we're seeing, Is there a change in the strategy that is being adopted in the last 48 hours ever since this pause by US and Israel on, of course, power plants and oil supply places, energy targets, of course? Are you seeing a re-change in strategy in terms of the strikes chosen in the last 48 hours? And what does that re-change in strategy tell us as well?
Yeah, I think I'll answer your second question first, and thereafter I'll answer all the other panelists. Firstly, I think we need not. This is an age of information war. Whatever information is being put out, because America controls all the social media as well as the media outlets, and therefore they play a narrative. And in the narrative war, anything can happen. Maybe that he may say that, okay, I will pull out and thereafter launch a ground operation. It may well happen. It may be that it's a deception. Maybe that doesn't happen. At the same time, the change of strategy which I can make out is that this pause which they have given is their people are not ready as far as ground operation is concerned. See, physically, if you have to, let's say, capture the island, your amphibious ships have to be physically there for your troops to land. They are still not there. They are outside Gulf and they have not even entered. So therefore they are not ready. So considering, and similarly, even if let's say you want to attack Iran from the north, in that case, your troops should be in Iraq. Your troops should be in other neighboring countries, which is not the case. Nor is the logistic chain established. So actually, they are not prepared for a ground attack, and therefore the excuse of pause is going on again and again. Now let me come to what Mandana was mentioning. Firstly, I fully appreciate the atrocities which the ladies have faced in Iran, and I have been writing on that as well. So at the same time, there is no doubt that there was a tremendous amount of anger against Khomeini regime, as well as for many reasons, which is economic, which is social, which are a whole lot of other reasons as well, and poor governance, of course. But what had happened is the miscalculation was, that is what America calculated. What they thought was that once we take off all the leadership of Iran, maybe that the people who are angry on the streets, they will change the regime and some more moderate regime is going to come. That was their thought. But there perhaps the calculation went slightly awry for the reason because the anger of people of Iran against regime is not as much as the hatred towards Israel and hatred towards America. Now the problem which came up was that in the initial strikes, when you had 170 girls getting killed in a school, and when the procession took place, the whole country got united because those girls are innocent. So that is where perhaps a situation which has come up is that people have now gathered that Iran first and our internal problems later. So that's the change which took place, number one. Number two, you can't call it a regime change. After all, Khomeini's son has occupied his place. That's one. And secondly, you have got a much more hardliner. And even if he dies, you will find somebody coming up from IRGC who is going to be even more hardliner. So as far as the so-called regime change which America was aiming, that has not happened in that manner. Yes, the human being has physically changed. That's a separate issue. So that's another issue. Now comes the question of as to how America, whether it is gaining, it is not gaining.
Yes.
See, you can win certain battles.
Right.
Okay, sorry. I'll just take one line. Yes, you have degraded Iran, so you have won some tactical battles. Point seen. But at the same time, you have increased the oil prices, so Russia is singing because they've got tremendous amount of money, and China is very happy that USA is getting weakened and Iran is bashing them up, and China has not spent anything and just got better off in the big power contestation. Back to you.
My thanks to all of our guests for joining us. We are taking a very short break on that note. Much more coming up on the other side.